Hi, legends. Welcome to another episode of Throttle On, Full Send, Never Lift podcast, episode 2. Episode 1 hasn't even taken off yet, but Never Lift. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, right. Just want to say good morning. Good morning to everyone except the cunts that shit in fucking parking bays. Oh, if I have to walk around another parking bay and dodge fucking landmines, I tell you what, it's just the fucking most grubbiest thing you can do, especially when there's, I don't know, 300 acres of fucking grass directly in front of you, but you're too fucking lazy to go out and shit out there or hold it until you get to the toilet. Anyway, that was my bit of a fucking piss boiler from this morning. Firstly, as time goes on, I'm going to have to learn to fucking edit these a bit better because using a mobile phone to make a podcast is extremely hard, especially when you're out on the road. I have got my laptop here, but I haven't got the software. So I'm looking at putting a bit of an intro song to it so it just doesn't start off with me going, eh, and sounding like a fucking half-bred sheep. But yeah, and also another thing I noticed, I may need a co-host, someone like-minded like myself, doesn't mind talking shit, having a laugh. I've got a couple of fellas that might be interested that I'll line up. They don't know it yet, but anyway. Also, drum roll, first review of the podcast, and it's a fucking road condition report. And believe it or not, it's not a good one. Welcome to Queensland. Uh, yeah, I want to say basically from the top of Queensland right to the bottom for the shit roads, but we'll just stick to this one. Ralston to Mara. Ah, fuck me. If you want to punch your spine out through the back of your neck and get it stuck in the roof of your cab, this is the road to take. Just coming across the Mara dip there this morning, and if I needed a shit, I don't now because it's fucking compacted. What an episode! Fucking not even 3 minutes in, we're already talking about breaking spines and shit. But yeah, not a good drive, I tell you. Beautiful country, beautiful scenery, not much traffic, but holy, the road. Uh, the government, they mustn't drive out on these roads, especially a lot of these roads in Western Queensland, Northern Queensland, Central Queensland, Southern Queensland. Can't say Eastern Queensland because them cunts get everything. But out here in the bush where you could only have that one bit of bitumen and it's fucked. I don't understand how these shiny shirt fuckers aren't driving around out here, having a look at what these people out here have got to drive over, what us truck drivers are constantly got to drive over, and going, well, fuck me, I might throw a bit of money at this instead of throwing it into the concrete jungle. But we all know that's where majority of their votes are, so they got to keep them happy. But they forget about the old battlers out here that are the lifeblood of this country, and they got to travel along this shit. So yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal on your body. Not ideal on your truck, car, whatever you seem to be driving. Not ideal on your mental state either, especially when you had a bit on and then you got to deal with 130 k's of that shit. So I'm not saying I'm doing it tough because I dare say there's a few blokes out there right at the moment belting up the track somewhere that's corrugated and doing 15 kilometres an hour for the last, I don't know, 12 hours. But yeah, on roads that are sealed, They shouldn't be like this. We pay good money in red goes, taxes, everything like that. Where's it going? Ain't going to the fucking roads between Ralston and Mara, I tell you. Unreal. But nevertheless, some things will never change. Like yesterday, coming down from Valiando there, central northern Queensland, and there is a cement culvert on that Gregory Highway that's, well, my truck driving career is not very long, but ever since I've been going up that road, it's been absolutely fucked. I feel like getting a few bags of concrete and a screed and just going helping every poor bastard out that travels that road because, fuck me. You hit it, it drags you all over the road. When you got a triple on, it's, yeah, it's not ideal. It's narrow. And I think to myself, I've only been doing this for 10 years. And in the last 10 years, it's been the same. What about these poor blokes that have been belting over that for the last 40 years? Mind you, it's probably dirt before that, probably a lot worse. So be thankful, I suppose, there's a bit of concrete there, but fucking Jesus. How much has everyone got to take? Like, I'd hate to be in the dark. You get a lot of them mad fellas coming out of the north there, out of Townsville, just absolutely holding it flat. And, yeah, coming across each other on that. It's going to end badly, and a lot of things will end badly on these roads out here if nothing gets done about it. But I don't know. I don't own a bitumen truck, so I can't help you out. But I can get it out there that it's shit, and it's everywhere. It's not only in Queensland, but these are the majority of the roads I travel around Queensland, and it's an absolute fucking joke. Anyway, nevertheless, we will keep belting over them. It's just going to be an unfortunate bastard that has an accident on it because of the government's incompetence to want to spend a bit of money and fix things. So, but what do you do? It is my experience in the mines, filling out take fives, used to dabble in the old rough road conditions, drive to conditions. Yeah, so that's all you can do is just drive to the conditions of the road. Not every road is going to be 100% fucking perfect, but fuck me. Some of these roads, I tell you what, you just want to. Oh, they need to start building hover trucks. That would be good. But knowing Queensland, probably have rough airspace as well. And the worst thing in the industry that I'm in of livestock haulage, it a lot of these do-gooders want to bang on about animal welfare and everything like that, and but they don't want to look at the likes of, like I just said, the road conditions. Now you picture for 12 hours or even 2 hours standing on a steel deck, sprawled, leaning backwards and forwards, and bouncing over rough roads. And that's not the truck driver's fault because sometimes it doesn't matter how slow you drive, it's still bad. But they don't want to go to the source of the problem. They everything just points towards the truck driver. Ah, he's driving too fast. Ah, especially when they roll one over. The one thing I hate seeing on Facebook posts about cattle truck rollovers and everything like that. Yes, it is unfortunate. Yes, you feel bad for the cattle, but there would be about two or three comments about the welfare of the truck driver and about 4,000 comments of, oh, the poor cows. They didn't know what they were in for. Well, that poor cunt probably didn't know what he was in for the day either. Yeah, some blokes tipped him over from driving too fast around corners and everything like that. But there is a lot of unpredicted rollovers due to rough roads, drop offs on bitumen. Like you get up in that northern country where the single lane bitumen and the drop offs are about 3 Coke cans high, and you got to pass each other, and you're doing your best to hold it straight, and then you hit the edge of the bitumen and it drags you off. Well, that's not on the truck driver. That's on all these government people that aren't spending the money to fix the road when they damn well have the money to splash a bit and put some edges on some bitumen. Sometimes you think you'd be nearly better off going back to just dirt. At least you swipe the grader over and it's all good. But yeah, it's just one thing that pisses me off when you see them comments. And most of the people that are commenting on it are people out of the city that probably assume that cattle just walk to their destinations. And then they want to whinge about a rollover and the poor cattle and everything. And like I just said, yes, it is sad. But what about the poor bloke that's been trapped in it for the last 3 hours because he's laying on the floor with the roof down on him? It's not like you go out day to day and just think, right, today I'm going to tip this bastard arse red. You never know when it's going to happen, and when it does happen, it's unfortunate. I try and do the best I can every day, as 100,000 other blokes do out on the roads, to get home safely. We've all got families to go home to. And even if you don't have a family to go home to, you got something to live for. You don't just go out there to drive like a maniac and tip it arse over head like the general public down in the cities portray truck drivers as. But, and don't get me wrong, there is some fucking cowboys out here. I've, I've seen plenty of them. I had a bloke once down at Coonabarabran there in New South Wales. He overtook me when I was turning onto the Newell Highway there, head back to the Pilliga. He overtook me as I'm turning the corner, and he had a B double on, and I had a road train on, and I just said to him, all casually, I said, "Oh, in a bit of a hurry, old mate," and he was going to fucking stab me, you reckon? So yeah, you do get them sorts of people in the industry, but the majority of them are fucking good drivers and good operators. So yeah, it's not all on the driver all the time. There is a lot of factors, weather, road conditions, a lot of things can factor into rollovers. And it just makes you crook in the guts when people are sitting there bagging someone for tipping one ass overhead or running off the road. Like, from personal experience, it's not fun running off the road. I didn't plan on running off the road. It's just something that happens. So, yeah, I just like everyone that, because I'm assuming that not everyone that's going to listen to this will be a truck driver. Just think before you speak, think before you comment, because our mate's probably sitting there in a hospital bed watching that while he's recovering and feeling like absolute shit. And that goes back to the mental health thing too. Is want to comment on shit, but you forget who the audience is that could be watching it. And it's not hard to it's not easy to sit there and watch everyone bagging the shit out of you, especially when it wasn't something that you could control, you know. But in the average world, as everyone knows, some people just don't care about other people's feelings. That's just the way it is. But in saying that, we'll touch on a bit of mental health awareness stuff for the day. And I just want to share a poem. Not many people know this about me, but I used to dabble in a bit of poetry I'd write. I wrote this back in 2019. I can't exactly remember why I wasn't feeling real great. I was having a bit of a rough time, but I was getting myself back on track. Um, anyway, it's called The Black Dog. As I sit here alone in the dark of the night, the black dog gets closer to winning this fight. My heart is racing as I head for the door. My body's aching and I'm mentally sore. There's a bridge down the road that's not very tall, but it's big enough to be able to end it all. I can't think straight and I start to cry. deep in my heart, I don't want to die. But the black dog keeps coming as I head for the ledge. This is it. I'm close to the edge. I take one look down and look around. No one will find me way down on the ground. I can feel him breathing on the back of my neck, pushing me closer to becoming a wreck. A voice in my head tells me to push back, take a, take a deep breath, and get my life back on track. I turn to the dog, eye to eye, push back hard and scream, I don't want to die. I can feel a weight lift from my chest as I push back hard. I feel it beat in the chest. Now, I've written this from the heart, from a few hard times. And I hope you can find some hope in my lines. Because the black dog doesn't hold back when he starts to attack. He latches on tight until you end the fight. So if you're ever in desperate need for a beer and a chat, just give me a yell and we'll kick on back. Because you're not alone in this mongrel fight. Just remember to push back when the black dog comes in for a bite. So I wrote that just one night. I was just sitting in my truck in the dark on my own. I can't even remember where I was. I remember writing it, but I don't remember where I was. And yeah, I don't know what was going on in my head at that stage, but yeah, I obviously just keep pushing through and stuff like that. I've written a fair bit of poetry. Like I said, not many people know about that, but everyone's going to know now. Yeah, it was a way for me to, like I said the other day about a coping mechanism. That was one of my coping mechanisms was to write poetry so I could just express how I felt through my words. Like I'm not saying I'm any Banjo Patterson or anything like that, but it felt good to be able to write something that not many blokes would look at doing. But yeah, that was my way of coping. So I'll probably drop one of them into the potty every now and then. Something I've written, something some other people have written. If you've written something, send it in. I'll give it a shout out. I'll read it out. Yeah, never be ashamed with stuff like that either. Like I thought, oh yeah, everyone will think I'm a fucking tosser, writing fucking poetry. But mate, you'd be surprised. Like I've written a few um heartfelt ones, a few more light-hearted ones, and you'll be surprised. People they go, shit, didn't know that'd come from you. Pretty impressive. And yeah, I don't worry about what people think of me most of the time. Like I said the other day, I do stress about it, but when I open up and do things like that, showing people's the hardest part. Same as with what I'm doing here now. Like yeah, I feel like people are going to judge me for what I say, or people say, "Oh, no point listening to him. He just rambles on with shit." But like I said, that's their opinion, and they can fucking have it. So yeah, if you can find a little, what's the word, niche, stick with it. Something to take your mind off things. Go with it. Yeah. But anyway, what's everyone's thoughts? Thinking there earlier when you're in the truck and you go to pull up and get something to eat, or on the holidays, or in the car, or whatever with the kids. What's your go to at the servo if you go to Roadhouse? Do you sit down and get a big feed, or do you just hot box bandit and just upper? I know it all depends. It depends with me what I'm doing. If I'm loaded, nah, no sitting down, grab something to eat and go. Toasted sandwich. Don't mind dabbling in the old toasted sandwich. But if you got plenty of time, yeah, by all means, sit down and have a feed. Breakfast. I which reminds me, shout out to Claremont BP. I went in there for breakfast and I got the English big breakfast and holy, come out full and beautiful too. They did a cracking job there. Had a shower and everything there. Been up there for the last 3 days. Showers, toilets, everything's clean. Unbelievable. They're really doing a good job up there. So yeah, shout out to them. So if you're up that way, make sure you stop in and have some breakfast because it is unreal. But yeah, I just thought, what's everyone running? Just an all bacon and eggs or big breakfast or just eggs on toast, bit of spaghetti, something like that. Let me know. I see they had on their menu, and I see a few places that are doing it now, like McDonald's has got the McGriddles meal for breakfast, which surprisingly, now I am far from fucking American, obviously, but I can't do that maple bacon, yeah, pancakes and all that bacon. Nah, nah. That pancakes are for dessert or breakfast with sweet stuff. Bacon's for putting with eggs. Egg and bacon, bacon and eggs. Not fucking bacon and pancakes. But anyway, each to their own. But I like that McGriddles milk. Bit of maple uh, pancakes with the bacon and the egg and everything on it. And the two buns are made out of big fluffy old pancake. Oh, oh, fucking pretty good. Surprised me. But I see on the menu there, all American big breakfast. And they had a little arrow pointing to the picture, and it had pancakes, bacon, and maple syrup all over it. And I was just like, I can't do the sweetness with the bacon. It's just not, for some reason, my old taste buds. I don't know if they're fucked from years of smoking and everything like that, but I just can't do it. Sweet on its own, savory sort of flavor on its own. Yeah, can't. But for some reason, the McGriddles ones with Macca's, run them every day if I could. But also on that, like, or are you a self-sufficient truck driver? I know a lot of the time you got to be wherever you are. You haven't got access to surveys and everything like that all the time. A lot of places it's hard to pull up in. A lot of other places that are easy to pull up in are filled with fucking caravans. But we're not going to go on with that. We all know how we feel. Yeah, I do a bit of cooking on my own. I got a microwave now, but I used to run the old what do you call it? Sandwich press. Put me bacon and me steaks in between the toasted sandwich maker and just cooks both sides. Don't even have to flip it. Half the work, double the flavour. But what sort of kitchen setup do you guys run in your trucks? Just something simple like the microwave, or do you go all out? My old mate Bretto, another shout out to him, cooking with a truckie. He runs the oven, air fryer, and does a great job. Give him a follow on Facebook there. I see he's got a page on Facebook now, cooking with a truckie. Unreal meals. Some of the stuff that he does with that air fryer, oh, unreal. I never used to have to worry about taking food when I was with Bretto. It was great. I remember one of the last jobs I did with him up at Alpha. We were sitting there. He's cooked up this crumbed lamb chops, beautiful lamb chops that he'd done up himself. There's some sort of special crumb that he makes, and he's spruiking about this camp chair he just bought from Tent World, I think it was. BCF could have been one of them. I'm not going to label one of them, but yeah, might be wrong. Anyway, she's got three legs. One of them ones that folds out in a cross. Oh, Brett, you telling me how good this chair is. Next minute, he said, "Hey, have a seat on this and tell me what you reckon." And I said to him, I said, "I'll probably break it if I sit on it." Brett, he's like, "Nah." He said, "I'm 100 some kilo." He said, "You'll be right." Anyway, so I sat on it. I was like, "Oh, yeah, she's the go, mate." And he's like, "Yeah, not too bad." And I give it back to him. Well, fuck me. As soon as he sat on it, one of them rods comes straight through that fabric. Not what you're thinking. And down he goes. Dropped all his crumb chops. I still had mine. I was right. And I said, "Ah, fuck." I said, here, have my crumb chops because these were covered in dirt, alpha bull dust. Nah, not Bretto. It must have been good chewing, old fella. So, yeah, get around him. He does some cool stuff with the air fryer in the truck. It's unreal. So, I'll get the big fella on for a yarn one day. He's sure to have recipes. Some does a bit with a bit of rubs on meats and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, have a yarn about how he got in the transport industry, how he got it excited in cooking and creating his page, cooking with a truckie. Yeah, should be good. A few mad yarns and a couple of beers. I'm sure we'll have some content to come out with. Right. We've come to that time of the potty where I gotta get the fuck out of here. Righto. So I'll leave you with the inspirational quote of the day. And I thought it was a fucking beauty because it's dead set 100% true. It goes, the bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. How's that? You make your own journey. You know where you gotta go. And yeah, that's what it's all about. You fly yourself in the direction that you want to go in and follow the path that you want to go. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty fitting for today. Anyway, legends, it's time for me to crack on down the road and get to where I gotta be. So, just keep it safe, keep it upright, and never lift. Catch you guys.